morning. Today we are presenting a report about the importance of respecting indigenous communities and promoting their culture through education.
Indigenous people have played a fundamental role in the history and development of our country. However, many communities still face discrimination, social exclusion, and unequal educational opportunities.
To better understand these issues, we interviewed Ana Yatakwe, an indigenous community leader, and David Yatakwe, an indigenous student.
Anna, why is respect for indigenous communities important?
Respect is important because our traditions, language, and customs are part of our identity. When people respect our culture, they help preserve our heritage and promote equality.
Anna explained that their traditions, language, and customs were part of their identity. She added that respect helped preserve their heritage and promote equality. Do indigenous communities still face discrimination?
Yes, unfortunately, many people have stereotypes about indigenous peoples and do not fully understand our culture or our way of life.
Anna stated that indigenous communities still face discrimination because many people had stereotypes and limited knowledge about their culture. What would you like schools to do?
I would like schools to teach more about indigenous history and traditions. Education should encourage students to value cultural diversity.
Anna said that she would like schools to teach more about indigenous history and traditions. She also suggests that education should encourage students to value cultural diversity. David, what has been your experience as an indigenous student?
My experience has positive in some ways, but there have also been challenges. Some people make assumptions about indigenous students without really knowing us.
David explained that his experience had been positive in some ways, but that he had also faced challenges because some people made assumptions about indigenous students. Do you think schools provide enough information about indigenous cultures?
Some schools do, but many students still know very little about indigenous communities and their contribution to society.
David reported that some schools did provide information about indigenous culture, but many students still knew very little about indigenous communities.
After conducting these interviews, we learned that indigenous communities continue to face several challenges, including discrimination, stereotypes, and lack of representation in education.
But interviews agree that many people still have misconceptions about indigenous cultures. They also emphasize that schools should do more to teach indigenous history, language, and traditions.
Anna explained that respect helps preserve cultural heritage, while David highlighted how education can reduce prejudice and encourage understanding.
Their testimonies show that education is one of the most effective tools for promoting inclusion and respect.
In conclusion, creating a more equitable society requires people to value cultural diversity, challenge stereotypes, and recognize that the contributions of indigenous communities.
Thank you for listening.